Hello everyone and welcome to the channel, and today I have OneUI 6.0 Beta 1 installed on my S23 Ultra to show you each and every new change. And by the way, this update is only available in 3 countries, which are US, Germany and South Korea. So if you are in any other country, Samsung will not allow you to enroll in the beta program. However, you still have the ability to install OneUI 6.0 by sideloading the update on your phone, which I already did. And that's why I managed to get it here in the UAE, and I will create a follow-up video to show you how you can achieve this. But for now, let's dive into OneUI 6.0 to see what's new. Let's start with the lock screen, and the only change I'm going to show you here is the ability to reposition the clock anywhere you want. So I'm going to tap and hold to edit my lock screen, then unlock the device, then tap the clock, and here I have the ability to position it anywhere I want within the top half of the display. And you will also notice here that the icons under the clock will automatically align based on where the clock is located. They will be either on the right side, the center, or the left. And let me also choose a different clock design. The same thing will happen to the clock based on where you're going to place it on the display. Then you have the ability to resize it to make it as big as the entire width or too small like this one if you want, and that will give you more flexibility on how to position the clock. Now let's move on to the home screen. And the first change is the app labels are now limited to 1 line only instead of 2 lines like before, and Samsung decided to rename the default apps to adhere to this new change. So for example, the Galaxy Store is now called Store, and when you search for other apps like Samsung Pass or Samsung Wallet, you will notice here that it's called Pass and Wallet to shorten the name and make it only 1 line, and that will make it a bit easier for you. Change number 2, when an app appears in the search results, like in this case, now you can tap and hold on this app to get access to the quick shortcuts on top of the default system actions like before, which will make it a bit easier for you when you make a search. Also, OneUI 6 is now using a new default font that, as per Samsung, it looks more stylish and modern. And for you to see this new change, your phone has to be set to the default font, and you can achieve this by going to settings and then search for font style and then tap on font style and make sure you are on the default option for you to see the new change. Now let's talk about the new quick panel of OneUI 6, which is the biggest change in this update. When you swipe once to access your quick settings, you will see it looks pretty much the same, but when you give it a second swipe, it looks totally different. The first change is the Wi-Fi and Bluetooth toggles now have their own spot at the very top, and when you tap on any of them, instead of only turning the feature on or off, now it will give you an overlay window, which will allow you to turn the feature on or off as well, but also search for networks and connect to any Wi-Fi network without the need to leave the quick settings panel. And that matches Google's approach on Pixel phones, and the same thing applies to the Bluetooth tile. When you tap on it, it will show you the available Bluetooth devices with the toggle to turn the feature on or off. After that, you have a dedicated section for the rest of the options, and none of them will expand like the Bluetooth or the Wi-Fi tiles, but they work as normal toggles as before. The third section is dedicated for the brightness slider and some related options like the eye comfort shield and also the dark mode, plus the ellipses in the brightness slider to give you quick access to some toggles like adaptive brightness and extra brightness. And lastly, 2 more tiles at the bottom, one for the smart view, which will take you right away to the settings page, and the second one is for the device controls, which will open your smart devices toggles. But now let's talk about how you can edit this new layout, because there are some interesting changes here. Right off the bat, you can edit the controls showing in the full view or the compact view separately without impacting each other. So for example, when I tap on edit, now we have the top and full options. Top is for the compact view, and here you can remove or add whatever you want by tapping on them, or you can also use that drag and drop gesture to add more controls like this, or you can drag them over to reorder, and once you're happy with the changes, tap on done. The second option is the full view, and it works exactly the same. You can add or remove toggles by tapping on them, or you can also use the drag and drop feature, but here you don't have limited number of slots. You can add whatever you want, and once you're happy, tap on done. And as you see now, the 2 layouts have totally different controls. But one more thing worth mentioning here, the Wi-Fi and the Bluetooth controls in the compact view work as toggles as OneUI 5, no change here, but they only expand when you change to the full view. Let's go back to the editing menu to show you even more. now you have an option called Quick Settings Instant Access. When you turn on this toggle, now when you swipe from the right side, you will get quick access to the controls in full view when you swipe from the right side. But if you want to see the notifications, you swipe from the left, which is exactly the same as iOS. So if you want the normal way of One UI or you want iOS way, you have the two options now in One UI 6. The next option is called the brightness control, and here you can choose where the brightness slider should appear. If you have it on show always, that means with the first swipe you can see the brightness slider and also when you expand the quick panel. But if you want to see it only with the quick panel expanded, you can change the option and that will be the case. Next, we have an option called device control and the media output buttons. And here you have two choices, either don't show or show when quick panel collapsed. So if I have it set to when quick panel is collapsed, you have here the two choices. But once you change it to don't show, those two options will disappear. And the last option we have under the editing menu is called Contact Us, which will take you right away to the Contact Us page on Samsung website. I'm not sure why Samsung added this option under the quick panel controls. It's a very weird spot, but anyways, here we have it. Now let's talk about the media controls card as it got a complete revamp. When you expand it, you will see here that the album art is covering the entire space. You get an animated progress bar with a shortcut for the media output device, so you can quickly change it from here, which looks very similar to stock Android on Pixel phones. And lastly, the progress bar color will change based on the album art colors. So for example, when I change to a different song, you will see this purple color and it will keep changing to match whatever you see on the screen. And when it comes to notifications, they also got a small design tweak. When you get multiple notifications from the same app and then expand those notifications, you will see each one is in a separate card with the app name at the top left corner. So that will make it easier for you to dismiss or expand this notification individually. On top of this, now you can sort your notifications either by time or priority. And for you to achieve this, you need to go to Settings and then Notifications. And here you have a new option called Sort Notifications, then choose by time. And that means the most recent ones will always appear on top. But if you want the system to automatically decide what are the important notifications for you, you can choose the other option, which is called by priority. Now let's talk about the camera as it got plenty of new changes. The most exciting one is the camera widget. This widget can be added to your home screen and then you can link it to certain settings. And that means every time you tap on this widget from your home screen, it will open the camera app and automatically apply those settings, so you don't need to worry about applying them over and over again. And by the way, you can add multiple widgets to your home screen and each one has its own settings, which will make it much easier for you in the future. So let's take a look at how we can achieve this. The first thing you can do is to give it a name, and that will help you identify the settings it relates to. So I'm gonna call this one Portrait and then tap on Save. Then you have the starting mode, and here you can choose between the rear and the front cameras with each and every mode to choose from. So I'm gonna choose rear and then portrait mode, then go back. After that, you have the ability to choose a specific album to save these photos to. So for example, I have here an album called Portraits already, so I'm gonna choose this one, or you can create your own album if you want and then choose it. After that, you have the ability to choose a background for the widget, either to use the most recent image in the Portraits album or select a custom image. So I'm gonna keep it on that default option and then tap on Save. So every time I open the camera from this widget, it will automatically go to the portrait mode as you see here. And when I snap the shot and give it its time to finish, now this image will be saved automatically to the Portraits album, and you will see it over here. I took already a photo before, but this is the most recent one. And when it comes to the size, this is the smallest you can get. You can also take advantage of the widgets stacking. So let me add another camera widget to the home screen really quick, and then tap on Save. I'm gonna make it the same size as the other one, and then stack them on top of each other. And by this, I can have multiple camera widgets on my home screen in a very small space. Now let's open the camera app to see what else we have. The first thing is the ability to change the photo resolution from this quick toggle at the top. Secondly, you can do the same for videos. You can also change the video resolution right away from this overlay menu. in addition to the aspect ratio. And when you go to the camera settings and then watermark, now you have more alignment options at the bottom, so you can place your watermark wherever you want. The next feature is the new levelers that will appear in the viewfinder to help you align your photos while taking them. And for you to activate this feature, you need to first go to settings and then activate the grid lines. Once you do this, you'll notice here I have a dot that will allow me to align the image while snapping. And also when I hold the phone like this, you will also see a leveler here, which is like a line in the center of the screen that will allow me to align the image. And here's how it looks. Another feature added under settings is called quality optimization that you can access by going to advanced intelligence options. And here you have 3 different levels to choose from. When you have it set to maximum, you will see here that the scene optimizer is activated, and it says here automatically optimize the color and the contrast of pictures to make dark scenes look brighter and so on. And if you want to set it to medium, that will speed up the capture time by doing less optimization, but you'll notice here that the scene optimizer is now grayed out, and the same applies to minimum, which will take photos as fast as possible by not optimizing pictures after they are taken. But I found that the maximum option is fast enough, so I think I will keep it that way. The documents scanning also got 2 new improvements. First, you can use it without the need to activate Scene Optimizer. So if you have the Scene Optimizer turned off, you can still scan documents automatically using the camera. And the second new feature is the ability to automatically scan the documents without the need to hit the shutter key. So let me show you how it works. I have the auto scan activated, and when I point it towards the document, you will see here, it says hold your camera still, and now it captured the document automatically, and it took me right away to the editing screen, so I can crop, rotate, or do whatever I want, and then tap on the save button. And the last change under camera is the new auto FPS feature. So when you go to settings and then scroll down a bit, you will see here auto FPS. So let's open it, and it says here record brighter videos in low light conditions by automatically optimizing the frame rate in video mode. And here you can choose between off, use with the 30 FPS videos only, or use it with the 30 and 60 FPS videos. Now we are done with the camera, so let's talk about the gallery app. And the first change here, when you open a photo and then swipe up, it will show you some editing shortcuts based on what it sees in the frame. So for example, in this shot, I have the 24 hours time lapse, remaster, portrait effect, and object eraser. When I open another photo of myself, I'm getting different options here. I have the background effect, remaster, and object eraser. So it keeps it changing based on what it sees. The second change is the ability to add photos or videos to your albums using the drag and drop feature. So for example, I'm gonna select those 3 photos and then tap and hold one more time. Let me try again. And you'll notice here that I have a sidebar on the left with all the albums I have, and then I can drag them over, release my finger, and I will get a confirmation here either to copy, move, or cancel. So I'm gonna tap on copy, and the action is done. Now in the Instagram album, I have the 3 photos. Change number 3 is the ability to save your clipped images as stickers. So for example, I'm gonna open a photo of myself, then tap and hold. You will notice here I have a new option called Save as a Sticker. And when you do this, the sticker will be saved to your keyboard and also your gallery app while editing. So for example, when I tap on edit, then go to stickers, you will see here I have a new option on the left that includes all the stickers I saved before. I can add this sticker here to the shot and then modify the size, the rotation, whatever I want, and then save the changes. And also when I use the keyboard and then go to stickers, I have all of them right here. Now let's talk about the photo editor, as it got some tweaks as well. So when I edit this photo, you'll notice here that the menus are organized differently. First, the straighten and the perspective options are now under the same tab, which is called transform. Plus there is a new tab here on the left that contains all the rest of the options, like the auto adjust, object eraser, spot color, style, color mix, and so on. Change number 2 is the ability to make changes to the drawings, the text, and the stickers you added to your photos already. So for example, I added here some stuff to this photo, and when I tap on edit and go again to the stickers tab, you will notice here that when I use the eraser, I can delete the drawings. I can also tap here on the stickers and delete the sticker I added. And then I can go to text and select the text I added before and remove it, which is a very nice feature. You can also revert back to original if you want. So for example, I can tap on edit, revert to original, and I got my photo back. Change number 3 is the new undo and redo buttons at the top left corner. So for example, every time you make a change to a photo, you can revert back one step at a time or redo it again without the need to revert back to original and lose everything. The new undo and redo buttons are available in the transformation tab, the filters tab, and also the tones tab. Change number 4, when you try to add text to your photos, now you will see more styles that you can download. For example, here's a new one, and this is another style that you can download. In addition to new background colors to choose from, you have here 3 pages, and when you start typing, you see here that the background is now different. Last but not least, when you open any of the stories and then swipe up, now you will get a new thumbnail view. From here, you can hide or show content, plus the ability to remove images or videos from your story or add more if you want. Now let's talk about Samsung keyboard, and with OneUI 6 the emojis got redesigned, so now they look a little bit nicer. But I also found something that I'm not sure if it existed before or not. When I put multiple emojis, it will show me these suggested animated stickers that I can send in messaging apps. So I'm not sure if this is new to OneUI 6 or it's already in OneUI 5, so please let me know in the comments. Next, the share sheet. And now when you try to share photos or videos from any app, you will get a quick preview at the top to review the items before sharing them. On top of this, when you try to share a link, you will get the same thing. So I'm gonna tap on share, and you will notice here I have a quick preview of the link before sharing, and I can also tap on it to copy it. Next, Samsung Internet. And now when you play a video or music and then leave the current tab like this, the sound will keep playing in the background, and even when you quit the app completely, it will keep playing as well. But don't get too excited because this feature doesn't work with YouTube, so don't expect to get the background playback without having a premium subscription. The second change is the enhanced tab list view. When you use Samsung Internet on tablets or Samsung DeX, you will get 2 columns of tabs instead of only one, which will allow you to see more on the same page. Next, the modes and routines. And now when you go to settings and then modes and routines, open any of the modes you already have, scroll down a bit. Now you see a new section for changing the phone appearance based on this mode. So for example, when I tap on lock screen, I have the ability to choose any wallpaper I want. Then I can tap to edit my clock, then tap on done. And I can also change the lock screen shortcuts if I want. I can add different text here on the lock screen and so on. And once I'm happy with all the changes, every time I activate this mode, it will automatically change my lock screen and the home screen as well if I want. So here is my home screen when I activate this mode. Let's tap on turn on, and you'll notice here the wallpaper has been applied, and also my lock screen is now different. Also, when I make any changes to my lock screen or home screen while having this mode activated, the changes I apply will only be saved to this mode. So for example, if I decided to change my clock design to this one, tap on done, only the sleep mode will be updated. And when it comes to routines, it got some additions too. So for example, when I tap the plus sign and then add a trigger, scroll down a bit, you will see here a new option called media is being played. And when I go inside, I can choose any of these media apps, and once they start playing something, I can trigger a specific action. The actions also got some new additions like the lock screen, and here you can adjust these settings like the always on display, for example, change the lock screen shortcuts. You can unlock with the biometrics and so on. You will see here a new item also for Samsung keyboard, which will allow you to adjust things like the keyboard voice input, the languages, the mode, and also the high contrast keyboard. And there are some other options, but I'm not 100% sure what are they. Now let's talk about the changes under settings. And the first one is the smarter airplane mode. You'll notice here that I have Bluetooth and Wi-Fi activated, and once I turn on the airplane mode, everything will be switched off. But later on, if I decided to turn on the Bluetooth, the phone will remember my choice and the next time I activate airplane mode, it will keep my Bluetooth activated. So let's turn off the feature and then turn on again, and you'll see here my Bluetooth is not impacted. Change number 2, when you go to settings now, you will see that the battery has its own top level menu that you can access it right away from here, and instead of being listed under the device care like before. And I also found that the battery page looks totally different. So for example, when you go inside, I no longer see the since last full charge and 7 days, but now everything is stacked on top of each other. And when I go to the battery usage page, I have here some graphs with filters at the top to choose the day, and another graph here for the battery usage. And this is how it looks. And after that, you will see the apps that consumed your battery. Change number 3 is under settings and then security and the privacy. When you scroll down a bit, you will see a new option here called auto blocker. And it shows here how it can protect your phone. First, it will block apps from unauthorized stores. It will turn on app security checks, blocks commands by USB cable, and when you turn on the switch, it will give you 2 extra toggles at the bottom, one for messaging app protection, and the last one to block software updates by USB cable. Next, the Smart Select got some new features. So let's say I want to pin this image to my phone screen. I can open the Edge panel and make sure I'm in the Smart Select option. Then I'm gonna tap on Pin or Insert. You'll notice here when I start cropping, I'm getting a magnified view here at the top left corner, which will help me precisely crop the image. On top of this, when I pin the image to my phone screen, I can tap on this text button to copy whatever text I have in this image, and also I have the ability to resize it. Next, the My Files app. And now when you open it and then scroll down and then tap on Manage Storage, you will see some suggestions here in the center that will give you some hints about how you can save space. So for example, it says here, get 10.92 megabytes of space by deleting all the screenshots from the screenshots folder. And when you tap on review all the screenshots, it will show you what they are. So you can select whatever you want and then delete all of them. The weather app also got some new changes. The first one is the new widget, which will give you more information when compared to OneUI 5. So let me add it to the home screen. This new widget will show you information like the severe thunderstorms, the snow, rain, and the other events on the forecast. Plus, the weather app itself will show you more information like the moon phases and times, the pressure, the wind direction, dew point, and visibility. It should also get an interactive map view, but I couldn't find this anywhere in the app. And lastly, the weather app background and also the widget background should change based on the weather conditions. And the last change I'm going to show you in this video is the redesigned Smart Suggestions widget. So when you add it to your home screen, you will notice here that the app icons now match the icons you have on your home screen to be less distracting. And secondly, when you tap and hold on this widget, and then go to settings, you have the ability to choose between white or black backgrounds. In addition to the suggestion settings, and from here you can exclude certain apps from appearing in the widget. And once you're happy with the selection, tap on done and they should be excluded. So that's pretty much it for today. Those are all the new changes I wanted to show you in OneUI 6.0 Beta 1 on the S23 Ultra. But I will definitely create a follow-up video to show you how to install Beta 1 on your Samsung phone if you are not in one of the supported countries, and also include any missing features that I didn't mention in this video. But for now, thanks so much for watching and wish you all the best.